Stevie, I was going to say look back at the weekend, but there's not a lot to look back on considering the game was unfortunately called off due to the weather. It's just one of those things that happen, and a lot of the clubs across the country were affected as well, not just Dunfermline.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of games, obviously, the Hearts Queen of South game and Alloa both over the weekend, Friday and Saturday. But the weather actually beat us. I'd spoken to you last week and said that we had our week in place. Ifs, buts and maybes, we thought it was going to throw at us if the game was going to go ahead. Unfortunately, we never managed to train last Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday because boys actually couldn't get into East End Park, with the snow on the roads. So first and foremost, it was our safety. But we managed to get a decent session on Friday afternoon at the Orium once we found out the game was off. And then we trained later on Saturday afternoon as well to get a couple of really good sessions under our belt. Gave the boys Sunday off and we've trained Monday, Tuesday this week.
When you were heading into the game against Dundee, and we spoke to you last week, you were heading in with a near fully fit squad, and ahead of that game you were able to officially bring in Craig Whiting on loan rather than wait until the summer for his pre-contract to begin. So you must have been delighted to get that move over the line.
Yeah, I think it's really good news. Again, the board and chairman backing us to bring in Craig. Thanks to Hearts to allow this to happen as well. I think Craig will miss the Hearts game when we play them. That's part of the agreement, but he's a welcome addition along with Lewis McCann, Kevin O'Hara and Declan McManus. We've got the options up front now, and we're just at a situation at the moment, Jordan, where unfortunately Ryan Dow, had to come off in the Reith Rovers game. We've since found out that after seeing a specialist that he has damaged his Achilles. He's got a further appointment this Wednesday, which we'll know more, and that will be more definitive in terms of how long he's going to be out for. But as I say, it's great that we've managed to add Craig to the attacking options now.
When I spoke to Craig last week, he said that he saw himself more as a striker, but he could play in the number 10 or out wide if that's where you felt was best for him. Do you feel that striker is his best position, or do you see him being quite flexible in that forward area?
No, I mainly see him as a striker. But as I said, it's nice to hear Craig talking that way as well, that he can play a number of positions for us. There's a flexibility to his game. I think he'll grow into the position as well. I see it. It will be his position for the main part of his career now. And as I say, if you look at his goal return over the last year, calendar year, it's been very good. But as I say, it's a boost to us to bring in a player of his quality. He's only 23 years of age. He's got a lot of experience under his belt. And I'm sure the boys are happy that he's joined the squad as well.
The four players that you've brought in over the winter window in terms of Kyle McDonald, Scott Banks, Vitas Gaspuitis and now Craig Whiting, do you feel that ticked all the boxes of what you were looking for during the winter window? Are you very pleased with the squad that you've got put together now?
I don't think you'll ever turn around and say you're 100% happy, Jordan, because the nature of the beast is it's a very difficult job that we're in. And what I will say is it's great we've had backing to bring in four players of that quality. And, the common occurrence or whatever you look at in terms of their personalities, they're all hungry. And that's important. I keep saying it. That's one of the big things that ticks a box for me and our coaching staff, and that's the type of people we want at our club. So, as I say, it's welcome additions. They play all different positions as well, and they've the adaptability to what they can do, helping us moving forward.
With the disappointing news that you gave there about Ryan Dow and the confirmation about him hurting his Achilles, you must have been pleased then again to get Dom Thomas back last week, and you were saying you were just going to check on his fitness ahead of the Dundee game. So with a little bit more training under his belt and heading into the Alloa game, does he come back into contention? Is he okay?
Yeah, Dom's trained. The latter stages of last week, there's a protocol that he had to tick a number of boxes working with the medical staff, and he's come through that. He came through Friday and Saturday session, and he's trained Monday, Tuesday. And a little bit in terms, he's a little bit off it, because the effects it has with this virus that we're facing. But Dom's a chirpy character. You know, he's bubbly, he's infectious in terms of what he brings to the squad, and you know, he's a big part of your squad moving forward, and we're delighted to have him back available again.
Another player last week you discussed with us in terms of maybe just being slightly short of conditioning work was Vitas Gaspuitas. Has he been able to step that up, and does he come into contention this week, or is he still a bit away?
Yeah, I think to be fair to the big man, he's probably still a wee bit off it, but he's worked extremely hard. As I say, we missed a number of sessions last week due to the weather, but on Friday, Saturday, worked hard in the Oriam. We got, you know, the full pitch to work on some Olympia 11 stuff as well, and you know, he's had a really hard couple of sessions when he's done extra work after it as well, along with Greg and Gary McCall. So the big man's attitude's spot on, but in all fairness to him, he will come into contention, but he's still got a wee bit to go in terms of his conditioning.
In terms of the game on Saturday against Alloa, it's a team that we know how difficult they are, but you were really pleased back earlier on in the season to go away from home and get a victory that was hard fought despite the scoreline. You'll be hoping for a similar battling performance this weekend.
Yeah, the thing with Alloa, you know, that they're a possession-based team. You know, they've got players that are comfortable on the football. They made it very difficult in the first half when we played them through their place earlier in the season. So, but we managed to show our fighting qualities that day, and then turn the game with the quality in terms of the way we scored goals as well. So we'll be looking for more of the same. I go back to our last performance against Wraith Rovers at home. It was a very convincing victory, and probably our best performance of the season from start to finish. And you know, that's the standards that we've set at East End Park now, and that's what we'll be looking to continue.
Again, over the course of the time in charge that you've faced Alloa multiple times, home and away, and they've always made it difficult, as you've said. Is there anything specific that you feel maybe makes Saturday's game slightly different, with it being East End Park compared to the game earlier on in the season that was away from home? Does the game become maybe slightly more open in our favour with the bigger park, for example?
I just think they're a very good possession-based football team. Jordan, you know, Peter has them playing in a certain manner. He's tweaked it slightly in the last few games. But again, you know, I've spoken about it's been aware of what other teams can do, but we've very much got to concentrate on our own mindset and how we go and take the game to Alloa as well. You know, and that's not getting ahead of ourselves. The league's very, very tight. You've seen with the results again at the weekend. But, you know, we'll be very much focusing on what we can do with the ball as well. So, a game that we're looking forward to. I don't think the 4-1 result earlier in the season at their place will have any bearing on Saturday's result. But it gives us a confidence boost that we know we've already beaten them this season.